Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to Tarot with Taya. This is a love reading for the sign of Gemini for the month of January 2026. Hello, Gemini, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to read for you. I've already pulled 3 initial tarot cards for you. We have the Queen of Pentacles, the 3 of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles. I've also pulled 1 card from the Romance Angels Oracle deck, and it says Flirt. Extend your lighthearted energy to others. So Gemini, if you're new to my channel, just to tell you a little bit about my readings, I do read things intuitively, and I also allow my spirit guides to give me the messages that they like to have for you. So let's get started with the Queen of Pentacles. Gemini, there's a possibility that you've met someone that has sparked your interest, and likely you've met this person at work, possibly a work function, or somewhere work related. This Queen of Pentacles could have very much caught your eye. She or he is very well established, usually very financially stable, got their head on straight. They don't do things impulsively. They usually think things through before they take matters into their own hand or make a decision about anything that could be permanent. So I would say that overall, if this is someone you're interested in, this could be a very good choice for you, Gemini. It would help balance you out. As far as the Queen of Pentacles, Pentacles represent earth signs, Taurus, Virgos, or Capricorns. You also have the 3 of Pentacles. I feel like that this card is telling me a little bit of a different story. This could be that at one point, possibly in the recent past, you may have tried to focus more so on your love life as opposed to other things going on. You see the man in the picture, he's adding a pentacle to the 2 he already has. So this could be something that you have more focus on, and it's a possibility that it may not have gone the way that you expected. With the Knight of Pentacles, this can represent some form of communication, but the communication usually comes in a bit slower than usual. Maybe if this person is communicating to you, they've been looking at you for a while, maybe finally expressed their feelings or emotions for you. Gemini, this could be you as well. It can always be in the reverse, that maybe you've been kind of watching this person just to see or get to know them a little bit before you decide to maybe ask them out. But let's get into it a little deeper with some clarifiers. So with the Queen of Pentacles, it's being clarified with the Strength card. This person may have you a little shook, Gemini. Maybe you feel like they're possibly out of your league, or maybe they, make you a little nervous, but in a good way. You're very curious about this person. Like I mentioned before, you've kind of watched their movement, maybe how they communicate. You may have had some, interaction with them at work or wherever you've met them. Maybe you two have exchanged numbers, and the conversation has gone so well that you can't get this person off your mind. But maybe for some of you, you haven't had the courage to just truly ask them out yet. You could possibly be nervous about what their reaction would be, because you don't want to screw it up with the Death card. You don't want any of this to end if you already have established kind of a friendly, flirty relationship with this person. You haven't asked this person out yet. They haven't asked you out yet, but for some of you, you are communicating with them. You're just trying to work up the nerve to actually take things to the next step of asking them out. And this is for some of you. For others of you, you could be cautious because maybe in the recent past, you felt that you moved too quickly, and the relationship also lasted, didn't last for a very long time. So with this death card, you could be thinking of a way to kind of transition into a different approach of how you want to connect with this person. The death card has been clarified by the King of Pentacles. I do feel like this is your person. Again, this just reiterates that you are possibly interested in an earth sign, a Taurus, a Virgo, a Capricorn. It also specifically gives details of the person being very financially stable, pretty much on top of their game, very goal-oriented, work-focused. Again, someone you could have possibly met at work. But also, Gemini, if this is you, because just because this represents an earth sign, it doesn't mean that you can't be in the energy of this King of Pentacles. You are kind of trying to do things to where you feel you would get this person's attention. Almost as if you're trying to learn things about them on the sly. Like maybe you know someone that they are friends with, or it could be a coworker that you two, both talk to on a regular basis, and you're getting like little tidbits of information about this person. Like, what do they like? What are some of their favorite things to do, their hobbies? And you may be trying to kind of morph into more of the person that you think will attract them. And that's actually a natural thing. A lot of people do that. If you feel like maybe you lack some of the things that a person you're attracted to is looking for, you may try to change yourself a bit, change your behavior, change the way you dress, just to get that person's attention. I don't think there's anything wrong with that initially, but Gemini, if this is you and this is what you are doing, be sure to not lose yourself in trying to court this person, so to speak, trying to pursue this person. They really need to know who you truly are, because what will happen is if you're changing too much in the beginning and you actually do end up in something serious with this person, at some point the true form of you is going to reveal itself. And if it's something that's just totally opposite or totally new and just, not what this person expected, then I'm not saying it could scare them away, but it can definitely catch them off guard. So Gemini, just be yourself. I do believe that your sign is, I think, a set of twins, if I'm not mistaken. So you guys do have the ability to switch identities, so to speak. You are the sign that is good at it. You can kind of morph into what you feel you need to be for the moment. That is like a superpower that you guys have, but you have to use that wisely, especially when it comes to love and relationships. With this Three of Pentacles, it's being clarified by the Three of Swords. So I mentioned earlier that the Three of Pentacles here, where he's putting one up with the two he already has, could represent that you've tried this before. You've tried getting into a relationship before, maybe jumping in a little too soon. And the Three of Swords can represent that it didn't end well. It probably ended as quickly as it started. And it doesn't mean that it wasn't meaningful to you, but you are aware that, you don't want to make that same mistake again. And with that being said, the Three of Swords is being clarified by the Nine of Cups. You want wish fulfillment in love. You want to make sure that the choice that you make is going to bring you happiness. This gentleman in the photo, he has 9 cups, so that means he's only missing one. So Gemini, for some of you, you may feel like you're already in the situation that you want to be as far as your lifestyle, your well-being. You're just looking for someone that you could possibly share these things with. But not only that, that they're worthy enough for you to share these things with. Your interests, your hobbies, your everyday life, like really letting a person in is meaningful to you, but they need to definitely be worth it with this Nine of Cups. Clarifying the Nine of Cups, we have the Devil card. Now, some people see this card and think, like this is bad. And depending on what cards it's clarifying, it can be. But in this case, Gemini, the devil is just kind of cautioning you to not become obsessive about this situation. Because for some of you Gemini out there, this person has got your head all in the clouds. Like you are just so into them that they may be all you think about. When you wake up in the morning, they may be the first thing on your mind. When you pick up your phone to look, you're hoping that they've messaged you or called you. You may be in a situation where you feel like you have to keep yourself occupied to keep your mind off of them. Like you're really that attracted to them, Gemini. Comment down below and let me know if this is resonating with you and if this is you. And maybe, tell me a little bit about like what is it about this person that just has you so into them? Clarifying the devil card, we have the Ace of Swords. So Gemini, you are a representative of the swords. You, an Aquarius and Libra. You could be dealing with an Aquarius or a Libra. With this devil card, you could be dealing with a Capricorn. But this Ace of Swords is representing that at some point, you are going to make the effort, if your person hasn't beat you to it, to finally come out with the truth and let them know exactly how you feel about them. But the devil card could also represent that you have just been in your head about how you're going to do this, that it's kind of getting to a point of almost self-sabotage. Or at least that's what you could be afraid of, Gemini, is that you're going to make the wrong move. You're going to say the wrong thing. It's easy. Just simply approach it with kindness and clarity with a simple, what do you have going on Friday night, Saturday night? Whatever day it is that you're free. How about we go out for, a morning coffee or a walk in the park, or let's go catch a movie and then afterwards grab a bite to eat, just see what that person has going on. The only thing they can do is tell you no, that they're maybe not interested or that they're busy. And Gemini, if that's the case, then at least you know up front and you can finally get out of this cloudy brain that you've created trying to figure out like the best approach to this person. And I really do hope, Gemini, because just based on these cards, you are really into this person. I really do hope they feel the same for you. Let's keep reading and see if anything comes out about their feelings for you. And if it doesn't, we could pull a couple of cards just to see, because I'm interested in knowing, like, what does this person think about Gemini? Because you are flirting. I do believe that. Gemini, that is something that you guys are pretty good at. And sometimes you can flirt to the point where someone thinks you're into them, but you're not into them in that way. It's just the type of energy that you give off, Gemini. You're just a nice, open, flirtatious person. And you don't mean any harm or try to lead anybody in the wrong direction. That just, may be who you are. But with the Knight of Pentacles, as I said, this could be communication that is just taking its time to come in. It's like you're waiting on it. You know that you want to say something to this person, or you're hoping that they have something that they want to say to you. You kind of hope that they would make the first move. And just be patient, Gemini, because I do feel like for some of you, they are going to make the first move. And when they do, they're likely going to ask you, I've noticed you noticing me. So what's taking you so long to say anything? They're probably just as shy as you are about this whole situation. But the Knight of Pentacles is being clarified by the Judgment card. This card can represent some good karma coming your way. It could be because in the past you've done something great, something good, and you reap what you sow. So it's coming back to you. Maybe in the previous relationship you were in, it actually ended on a good note. Like you weren't upset, you weren't rude to the person. You didn't try and cause drama or anything like that. It was like an amicable split. Maybe the two of you are still on good terms. And you genuinely want the best for this person. Just even things like that can create good karma for you in your love life, in your relationships that are coming, in the future. The Judgment card is being clarified by the Knight of Wands. So this again is a form of communication. It can be quicker communication. So what I feel like is somebody is going to take the initiative to just go ahead and say what they feel. Go ahead and ask you out, Gemini. Or Gemini, you are going to go ahead and make the move to do this. You could possibly be traveling to this person. It's a possibility that this person lives a distance from you or you from them. And maybe it's one of those things where you've kind of been following each other on social media, looking at each other's photos, liking, commenting on each other's photos to just, let the person know that you are feeling them or you're into them, kind of throwing hints out there, but not really saying what you truly want to say. With the Knight of Wands, it's being clarified with the Seven of Cups. So, Gemini, you are a very attractive person yourself. And you know this. If you don't know this, Gemini, I'm telling you, you're a very attractive person, because with the Seven of Cups card, this is representing options. So that means even though you are focused on this one person, you have other suitors. Like, there's other people that are definitely interested in you, Gemini. But you're just not really feeling them, at this time, because you're so into the other person, possibly someone you work with or that you know from someone you work with. And also with all these different choices, it can feel overwhelming sometimes. So you might be in the mindset of thinking, I'm just going to focus on this one person, because if I focus on multiple people, trying to date multiple people, that could kind of get a little overwhelming for me, and I don't want to be in that situation. For some of you, you don't want to be in that situation again, because there are some of you, Gemini, that do take advantage of all the options that you have, and you date multiple people at a time, and maybe there's a slip up where you meant to text one person something and you accidentally text the wrong person, and you called one person by the wrong name. It could be something like that, and you don't want to get caught up in that. So you're going to try your best to focus on this one person to see if this flirty, lighthearted energy is going to move things forward with the person that you're interested in. The Seven of Cups is being clarified by the Five of Swords. So Gemini, with this Five of Swords, this could actually mean that there is some type of hidden agenda going on. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing, depending on what cards is following it. So I'm kind of feeling like if there is a hidden agenda, it could just be from you, because this is a swords card, meaning this other person, they're not picking up that you being flirty means that you really, really like them. They just think you're being nice. They don't know that your hidden agenda is to hopefully ask them out and hopefully move things along as time goes on, where maybe there could be something serious between the two of you. They don't know this. So this is a warning to you, Gemini, that you might want to step your game up a little bit. Not just flirty and being, just calm and sensitive towards what the other one, possibly needs, but instead you need to kind of step things up a bit and go ahead and make that move, because it's likely this, for some of you, Gemini, this person has no idea that you're into them like this. For some of you, if you're not like in direct contact with this person on a daily basis, or you haven't exchanged numbers, texting, calling each other, They just think you're being friendly. They don't know that you actually want them to be in your space all the time and you want to ask them out. So yeah, go ahead and make that move. The Five of Swords is being clarified by the Temperance card. So, you're kind of laying low a little bit, taking your time, really trying to figure out the best approach to this because you don't want to run this person off. You're being very patient about this whole situation. And you want to make sure that, when you finally open up and tell this person how you feel, that it's not going to be, the word that comes to mind is creepy. It's not going to be weird to them. For some of you Geminis, you may feel like you don't express your feelings or emotions in the best way. And that sometimes maybe you come off and when you're expressing yourself and you feel misunderstood. And that's okay. But don't get in your head so much about it that you miss out on an opportunity with what could be a great person. Because Gemini, I really do feel like the person that you're into could be a really good match for you. Gemini, thank you so much for coming to my channel. This concludes your reading. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let me know down below what types of readings you would like to see, and I would definitely like to do those for you and post them on my channel. Thank you so much again for visiting, and until next time, you have a good day. Bye.